Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of our AS Roma Jose Mourinho Master League series. We're on to episode 3 now, and it is quite a big one we have got to head because, as you can see, today we have our first tie against a title challenger, and that is Juventus. We're at home at the Stadio Olimpico, and it's one I'm really looking forward to. If any of you have not yet seen episodes 1 and 2 before this, then please do go and check out those ones before you come onto this episode today. You'll just be able to catch up with sort of what we're doing and the whole philosophy that we're carrying out with this Jose Mourinho realistic rebuild. As any eagle-eyed viewers will have noticed, we have already played a game, and that was in the Europa League against Aalborg. So first of all, let me show you what happened in that. So as you can see, we made lots of changes in the lineup. We made 10 changes pretty much, and the reason being was that one, early on I felt like at least we can beat Aalborg, and also with a changed team, and also we also had to look at this game today. So as you'll see when we come onto the lineup shortly, the players are a lot fresher. Just the one goal in it. In the end, it was Carlos Perez. We did struggle to really break the deadlock. We didn't look great, to be honest, but obviously with a changed team, the team spirit was a lot lower. You can sense that, but it was a very well-worked goal in the end, the 1-2, and he finishes very nicely indeed. So it did finish off 1-0. So it does mean that after 3 games so far this season, we've won 2 and drawn 1. So it's been a good start. We've had 2 clean sheets as well. So very much what Jose would love. One problem that we do have is just that of scoring goals early on, I'd say, because obviously we've scored 1 goal in all 3 of our games, so 1 in each game, 3 goals in total, and which is fine when you keep it a clean sheet, but we would just like it to be a bit more secure. We have created some chances, particularly in that Spezia game in the last episode. You'll remember we really should have won that game because we just created a plethora of chances, but overall it's been very positive. So we've got this Juventus game today. We've also got, if I have a look in the schedule here and just quickly show you, we've got a few other games as well. These other games are going to be more quicker, sort of quick-fire highlights, I guess. This is going to be our featured game here against Juventus. So let's get into it. Let me show you what the lineup is, first of all. As I just alluded to, we've got a fresh team because, of course, they all got a rest other than Rui Patricio in the Europa League in midweek. As you can see, there's been a change here. As we know with Jose, in these big games against the big sides, he will go more defensive, and this is what he's known for. And it's more of a counter-attacking system. So we've switched this central midfielder, box-to-box Pellegrini here, to a defensive midfielder to give more protection to the defence. What we've done is we've got Mkhitaryan and El Shaarawy on the wing. We want that emphasis on the counter-attack. And then Pellegrini and Vera too are now in the defensive midfield positions. Unfortunately, I did fancy sort of Cristante for this into that defensive midfield role, but as we said, just a little bit tired. They could still play, but really I wanted a team as fresh as possible. There's also been a couple of changes to tactics as well. We've changed the attacking style from frontline pressure to counter-attack. We've also put the build-up to long pass as well, and we've also changed defensive style from pressure to all-out defence. So it's very much going to be a Jose performance. Don't get me wrong, this is a really tough game. You know what I mean? It's an extremely tough game. And I'm not massively confident, to be honest with you, but we'll see how it goes. But the most important thing is we're going to try and look to utilise and exploit the space as much as possible that they will leave. They're playing a 4-4-2, so I expect there to be a lot of space, particularly in those central areas as well. Someone like Zaniolo can pick up those positions and might work out for him. So we'll see how this one plays out, but overall, I'm excited, very, very excited as the build-up for this game is underway. Just want to say, remember, I am using mods in this Master League. We're using the Virtua Red mod, and we're also using the Ultimate Master League mod as well. And Pog Champion very kindly reached out on my last video, which I was really appreciative about. He's the creator of the Master League mod, so do go and check them out in the description. He's also got a donation link as well, so if anyone uses the mod and really likes it and wants to donate, go and check that link out as well. Some great work he's doing, the Master League mod. Really, really good stuff. So just a quick reminder there. Gone for the water today over the Pepsi. Bit of a healthier alternative, you know. just remembered I've still got Rui Patricio captain, which is a bit annoying. That should be Pellegrini. So I do apologise for forgetting to do that. Right, so the team huddled, ready to go. Hopefully there's some unity there because we're going to need it today. That is for sure. And finally, kickoff is underway. He's closing down Ronaldo. Oh, just every time he gets a ball, it's just danger, you know. You've got to be alert. Abraham wins the ball back early. We've got the runner Zaniolo there. It's a good ball. He's going to have to go for goal. Save from Szczesny. There wasn't a lot of other options on there. But it is a chance. Mkhitaryan. Into Abraham. Oh, we've got the run of El Shaarawy there. One more to Zaniolo. Back to El Shaarawy. He's going to go for goal. What a finish. Stefan El Shaarawy, 23 minutes in. And it's 1-0. It's a lovely, lovely finish from Stefan El Shaarawy. Really good movement there. Lots of players running in. Abraham, Zaniolo, El Shaarawy, all of them creating really good movement. And it's just nice play. Abraham spots him originally. We tried to actually through ball that to Zaniolo. It came to him, but it worked out well in the end. He just gives a quick return back to El Shaarawy. It's a really calm finish. And we have another look at it here. Just finesses it into that bottom right corner. Szczesny isn't getting anywhere near that. That is a lovely, lovely finish. And you'll remember from the last episode, he cost us the game against Spezia. But this time he's made up for it so far. It's 1-0. Great start to this game. Oh, turn. Morata. Save in the end. What's happening here? The ref's giving a free kick. I mean, they've played advantage. They've had the chance. You know, I can't really see how he gives that because they've had the advantage. They've had the shot. But they've got a free kick in a dangerous position. Oh, it's a wonderful free kick. You see, I have to disagree with it. Like, he's played advantage, you know. They've taken the shot. I don't think that should be given, personally. Take nothing away from the free kick. It is a wonderful, wonderful goal from Paulo Dybala. Even Zaniolo, who's, you know, like 6'3", can't get to it. Really, really nice strike. I should have moved the keeper, actually, a little bit, because he's only going one way, isn't he? But it's level pegging. Right, well, that's half-time. Currently 1-1. I feel a little bit aggrieved about conceding that free kick, to be honest. Still a wonderful free kick. But in all fairness, I would say we've been the better team. You know, as we have a look there, they've created a couple more chances, but they've really been from long range, not really tested the keeper that much. You know, we've looked a bit calmer in possession. We've won the ball well. So, you know, second half is still well up for grabs. Looks to lay it off to Mkhitaryan. He's got options. He's going to go for the low ball. Abraham's there. Great save from Szczesny. And it's cleared. Another opportunity there. Verona back out to Pellegrini. There's a little gap there for Zaniolo. He'll look for Abraham. Oh, it's another save. Szczesny having an absolute worldie in this second half. Oh, that's poor defending from me. Let Ronaldo go. He forces a good save from Rui Patricio as well. Collected by Rui Patricio. And as we boot this up, I think that will be full time. Yes, it is 1-1 in the end. And overall, we should have won the game. We had some chances there. That was a good performance. It was a really good performance. You know, we came into the game with quite passive tactics. You know, and I expected us to be under the cosh a lot. But actually, Juventus were quite passive, and it enabled us to win the ball back quite often. You'll see we had more possession there. Again, they've had nearly double the shots, but the thing is that a lot of them were from long range, not really testing, whereas ours, we had some good opportunities in the 18-yard box, and Szczesny pulled off a couple of fantastic saves. So it's a good performance. 1-1 in the end. Okay. You know, obviously I wanted the win, but I'm not too despondent by that. So overall, something to build on, as we said in the last episode. Elsewhere, just have a look at some of the other results. Lazio 1, Inter 1, AC Milan 1, and Atalanta 1. So everyone around us getting the points there. And we're down to 9th, but, I mean, the table doesn't mean anything in these early stages, you know what I mean? We just need to see what we can do. see if we can pick up as many points as we can. And overall, it's not bad so far. I also forgot to mention, you guys, that I've had a transfer offer. And it was for Robin Olsen, 5 million in the end. Obviously, he's 80 rated, so it's fair enough. And I did accept it because, you know, we don't need him. We'll bring in that 5 million, no problem. Get him off the wage bill because, you know, as we mentioned, he's on nearly 60,000 euros a week. So that's a lot of money. So, yeah, overall, yeah, not a bad deal to make. Also wanted to show you this as well. As you can see in our shortlist, free agent Jerome Boateng. In real life, as of recording this, he still hasn't found a club either, which I'm shocked about because I really like him. And if you remember, he's a player who Jose did target when he was at Manchester United. He really wanted him, and it just didn't happen in the end. And as a free agent, I think that's something we should keep an eye on. So definitely one I am looking at. The centre back's playing really well at the moment, but if we could just bring in another experienced player, another leader, I think that would bring a lot of value to the squad. So hello everyone, welcome back. Today we do have the PES Verona game coming up. If you've noticed, all of a sudden it's a different time of day and I'm wearing a change of clothes and my hair looks different, then that'll be because I am recording this on a different day. So apologies for the continuity error there. Anyway, let's get into this game. We've got a good run of games coming in. Like I say, these are just going to be really quick highlights. So we'll show you any goals and anything real big that happens. But first of all, let me just show you the team sheet very quickly. You'll notice a couple of changes. On the right hand side, Reynolds is in for Karsdorp. He's on a downwards arrow. Usually I wouldn't mind, but I just thought I'd give Reynolds a chance anyway. And we've also brought in Carlos Perez as well for Mkhitaryan, and of course he did score in that Europa League tie, the winning goal against Aalborg. So thought he earned his chance, to be fair, and he deserves a shot. You'll notice that we've kept the defensive midfielders here just because, you know, as you can see on the PES Verona side, they've got two attacking mid, so they're really going to try and dominate those little pockets in the advanced areas. So I feel like with the two defensive midfielders, we want to try and counter that. However, because they've really playing just, well, not even wing backs, they're supposed to be really wing backs, but they've only got one on each side rather than fullbacks and wingers. I think we can double up on them, you know, particularly down this right hand side with Perez and Reynolds. They're as fresh as they can be as well. So this is one that I feel like we can really get at them and exploit their weaknesses. Got the overlap of Reynolds. Reynolds is going to whip it in. Abraham, good header, and what a finish that is. Tammy Abraham gets onto the score sheet for the first time this season. It's a nice cross from Reynolds out on the right hand side, and Abraham just loses his marker. It's a floating cross in the end, and he has to generate the power himself, but it's a really, really good header. Top quality finish as well into that top right hand corner. Look at that, just peels off the defender and he puts his head through it. It's a fantastic finish, and Tammy Abraham finally gets his campaign off and running with a goal, and it's a good start to this game. Zaniolo goes out wide to Abraham now. He's going to look for the return of Zaniolo. Gets it onto his right foot. Another good finish. And it's two quick-fire goals for AS Roma. Abraham once again involved, this time with the assist. It's Zaniolo. It's a really nice finish. He's the actual architect of the move itself. He drives into that space, gives it out to Abraham, who's peeled off well on that left-hand side and just finds a little pocket of space. That's what we want him to do as the attacking midfielder. And there's no mistake in that finish, that's for sure. Just one touch to get it out from his body and a nice little caress into that far right-hand corner. And Nicolo Zaniolo also gets his campaign off the mark as well. 2-0. Oh, El Shaarawy's got an opportunity to get to that, and he does as well. And a bit of space for him to drive into now. Abraham's making a run. What's he going to do here? He'll look to whip it in. Abraham peels off. It's another goal, and Tammy Abraham gets his second of the game. It's another fantastic header. And once again, deadly on the counter-attack. Look to exploit that space, and it's been a fantastic start. 26 minutes in, and it's 3-0. We are absolutely flying. Stefan El Shaarawy does so well to win the ball back, and he just drives down that left-hand side. This is what we spoke about at the start of the game on the tactics screen. We can exploit them down the sides because they've got no fullbacks. And he works out very well. A lovely glancing header from Tammy Abraham, and he makes it 3-0 with just 26 minutes gone. What a start. Oh, it's a good header. Finds some space at the back post, and it's 3-1 from the corner. A disappointing way to concede the goal from a set piece of all types. That's really not how you want to go down. It's Viña beaten at the back post, which is a real shame because he's had a terrific game so far. He's defended really well, but in the air is a weakness of his. And I think it's Zaccanini who ends up just beating him to the ball first. And what a shame, 3-1. As the keeper boots this up, I would expect this would be full time. Yes, it is a 3-1 victory. A more quiet second half in the end. We did still have a couple of chances, but overall a really good result. That first half-hour performance or so was absolutely spectacular. Really, really good. Just a shame we couldn't keep the clean sheets, to be honest. A bit disappointed about that, but we've created a lot of chances and we've scored some goals finally. We mentioned earlier in the episode that was a bit of a worry, but at the moment it's looking a lot better. 3-1 in the end. These were the results from match day 4. Just having a look elsewhere at any notable results. Juve, Atalanta both win. AC Milan win. Inter Milan actually draw to Torino, and then Napoli beat Lazio. So it looks like they've had a pretty torrid start to the season. Lazio won 1 in 4, lost the other 3, so not great for them. But for us, looking a little bit healthier. But league table means nothing to me at this time in the season, so it's just about getting as many points on the board as possible. Just pointing you out to something that I thought I should. One commenter in episode 1 actually pointed me in terms of a sign suggestion. Said Ivan Perisic, obviously a player that Mourinho chased at Manchester United, and we were saying that we were potentially looking at wingers as well. So he's one we could think about. Obviously, they've already done dealings already with Dzeko moving over to Inter Milan, so that's one that we'll definitely keep an eye on. Obviously, 31 years old, but if we can mix youth with that sort of experience, that would be very, very handy. So one we'll keep an eye on, and really grateful for that comment. So on to the lineup for game number 2 then. We've got Bologna today, and as you can see, a couple of changes. One, we've reverted our double defensive midfield to a singular defensive midfield. Pellegrini is now a central midfielder. He'll be playing that more box-to-box role. You'll also notice a couple of updates to the team as well. Brian Cristante is in for Verona 2, just a little bit tired. He's played pretty much every game apart from the Europa League game and played every minute pretty much. So he needs a little bit of a rest. Same with Viña as well. We brought in Calafiori today. Really excited to see what he can bring. Obviously a lot of development to doing from him. And Mkhitaryan also comes back into the team for Perez as well, for pretty much the same reason of sort of developmental, stamina issues really. Just trying to keep things as fresh as possible. Brian Reynolds does keep his place because he played fairly well in the last game, although I wouldn't expect him to see out the full game. If we have a quick look at the opposition as well, surprised to see a couple of players on the bench again, namely that of Dominguez and Orsolini as well. Orsolini in particular, a player who I really like. Musa Barrow, of course, makes way for the newly signed Arnautovic, but surprised they can't really work a way to get them both into the team together. But nevertheless, they're still a strong side, particularly under Mihailovic. You know they're going to be real battlers, so this is one I'm really looking forward to. Reynolds, had the ball to Zaniolo then. Is he going to still be onside? We're about to find out. He's whipping in. Abraham's there. What a fantastic start from kickoff. Tammy Abraham. And I thought that maybe Zaniolo would have been offside there because I did see the run early but didn't get it through to him. And I thought perhaps it would have been offside, as I say, but he manages to stay onside, does really well, draws the keeper out, gets right to the byline, and just a little dink into Tammy Abraham, who's picked up the right position. Let's have another look here. Muscles off the defender extremely well. And Tammy, with his left foot as well, just lets it run onto that in the 6-yard box. Gets his third, so he doesn't score in the first few games and gets 2 in the last game. And all of a sudden, starting to really fire now. A great start to this game. And it is 1-0 early on. El Shaarawy. Abraham finds the return. Going to look to whip it in. Zaniolo's there. It's another goal early on, 6 minutes in, and it is 2-0. Nicolo Zaniolo. What a fantastic start to the season he's having, and what a fantastic couple of games as well. He gets himself on a score sheet last time, and today an assist and a goal in the first 6 minutes. What a wonderful start to the game. It's Abraham and El Shaarawy with the 1-2. El Shaarawy continues his run and just lays it across the box. And a nice finish from Zaniolo on his left foot to just slot it past the keeper. probably should have done a bit better with that, really. The finish wasn't quite as into the corner as I'd have liked, but it's a finish nonetheless, and it is now 2-0. Zaniolo. Oh, it's a good pick out to El Shaarawy. Comes into Abraham. Bounces through the keeper's hands. And Tammy Abraham gets his second of the game. It's a brace in back-to-back games now. And what a wonderful pass that was from Zaniolo originally. Just have a look on the replay here. Gets it onto his left. Picks out El Shaarawy, making a really good run. It's a fantastic ball. El Shaarawy delivers it into Abraham. And there's no mistake in that one. Just gets it into his area, the 18-yard box. And it's 3-0 yet again. Oh, that's a ball. Zaniolo's on the end of it. What a header. And what a couple of games it is turning out to be. Nicolo Zaniolo gets his second of the game. And it is probably the pick of the lot so far. Because it is an absolutely lovely header from the free kick. Just dives onto the end of it and it loops over the keeper. There is no stopping that one, that's for sure. It's Pellegrini with the ball in the end towards the back post. And Zaniolo just absolutely flies towards it. Sends it the opposite way. And this is turning out into a magnificent performance. 4-0 now. As we look to play around here, surely this should be full time as the ref. There we go, finally blows the whistle. Another emphatic performance and result, 4-0 in the end. And the difference between this episode and last episode was really that we're taking our chances, you know, because we created a lot of chances in the previous episode against Spezia and Fiorentina, really. We just couldn't score. But this time, showing some real cutting edge, lots of quality on show, and that is a much, much better performance. As you can see, thoroughly dominant. And that is another really good result. Just a quick look at the other games. Juventus actually draw. They also drop points to Spezia. So perhaps Spezia aren't as easy as what they would have you think. Atalanta do beat Genoa. Elsewhere, AC Milan beat Venezia. Inter lose to Sassuolo. And then Lazio and Napoli both win their games 1-0 as well. So the league table does now look a little bit healthier. But Atalanta having a fantastic start to the season, it has to be said. So here we are back again then. This time we are back in the Europa League. So what we're going to do for this video, we're going to have the Braga game, show you quick highlights of that, and then I'm going to actually go into coach mode for the Genoa game before we go into an international break, and that will round off the episode. So we're going to see how that one plays out. First off, let me quickly show you the lineup we've got for this game, and as you can see, lots and lots of changes. So let me just quickly explain that. Obviously, you'll be wondering, why is it I've made, in back-to-back Europa League games, I've made so many changes, just changed the whole team pretty much. When I've made this big spiel about how I want to win cups, and that's the Jose way, he values the Europa League. And the reason being is that my heart's not really in this, because as you'll know, in real life, Roma aren't in this competition. They're in the newly formed Europa Conference League, and that's obviously not in the game. So we're in the Europa League, and because they're not in it and it's supposed to be a realistic build, you know, I'm just a bit tentative about playing it, really. So we'll see how it plays out, but at the moment we're just giving lots of players a rest. As you can see, a lot of players starting to get a bit tired anyway. The two centre-backs are on downwards arrows as well. Pellegrini's just definitely not playing this game. So, you know, ultimately we just needed to make a few changes to freshen things up anyway. As you can see, Diawara is injured, which means he's out for the game today, and also the one against Genoa. So that's a little bit disappointing because he would have played, but nevertheless, we're going to go with it. One thing I do want to quickly point your attention to is that what I think has helped us to actually be so free scoring in the last couple of games is actually that we've changed the attacking style to counter-attack from possession. You'd have noticed in the first episode we had it on possession. This time with counter-attack is just a lot better. There's a lot more movement, and I've been able to exploit that and utilise that to our advantage. So I think that is really working out for us, and why you're seeing us scoring a whole lot more goals in the last couple of games. Karsdorp looking for the 1-2. Perez still wants that return from Karsdorp. It's a good run. Rebound. Shomorodov's there. Keeper gets to it, but he can't keep it out. And Shomorodov gets onto the score sheet. Just under 40 minutes gone. We finally get what we deserve. We have been the better side, and it is finally come. It's good work from Karsdorp down the right-hand side. Looks for the 1-2. It ends up going to Perez. And as the return ball then goes to Karsdorp, he looks across goal. Ends up having a crack himself, I think. And the keeper saves and gets to it a second time, but he needs help from his defence, which he doesn't get. And Shomurodov makes them pay 1-0. Overlapping run. Karsdorp will whip it in. Oh, what a finish that is! And it's Riccardi, of all people, on the end of it. The 18-year-old youth academy graduate comes out of nowhere with a really well-worked goal. Just absolute desire to get to that. We find space on the right-hand side. Perez sends it through to an on-running Karsdorp, just whips it in. And Riccardi's there, bombing onto it. Absolutely bombing onto it. What a special moment that is for the Youth Academy graduate. Only 18 years old. And if he does stuff like that, you know, he'll be well into my plans, that is for sure. 2-0. This really should be full time now as we approach the 93rd minute mark. Ref's going to play over stoppage time again. Really frustrating. But as Verona wins that ball, surely that has got to be full time. Yes, it is. A solid, solid result. And I'm most, in particular, pleased about the fact that we're able to make, what was it, 9 changes. You know, a couple of youth players in there as well, one of which getting on the score sheet. And we're still able to win. You know, that is very, you know, really reassuring that I'm able to do that and still win and perform well as well. You know, that's the most important thing. So, overall, it's been a good start to our Europa League campaign. And as you can see, 2 wins from 2 with Young Boys up next. It's looking not bad at all. Just thought I'd quickly show you guys the monthly training report as well that I forgot to show you last time around. A couple of players going up. Zaniolo, Shomurodov as well, Carlos Perez. Others as well, like Riccardi's gone up to a 70 from a 68, so that's big as well. So overall, some promising development going on. So we are here for the final game of the episode. It is Genoa, and once again we've got more of a 3-5-2 or a 3-back system at least that we're coming up against. So this should be very, very entertaining. Obviously we've generally reverted back to the predominant team. Obviously a couple of changes in the sense that Verona, who's really featured mainly, he's out because a little bit tired and also on a downwards arrow as well. Same as Mkhitaryan, so we'll keep Carlos Perez in there. And Matheus Vigna returns after Calafiori has had the last couple of games in, who's looked decent, looks okay as well. So that is good. Other than that though, generally just the same team. We've gone back to the 4-2-3-1 with the box-to-box midfielder as well. That's working fine for us. Of course, we did revert to the 2 defensive midfielders in the last game. So overall, we're going to go into coach mode for this one and see how this one sort of pans out. Just thought this would be something a bit different really, something that we'll try out. If you guys don't like it, then don't worry. We'll, you know, we won't do it again. But I would like to really sim a few matches, you know, just for the sake of trying to get it, you know, just try and make it more challenging, a little more challenging, particularly when we're on a good run that we're on at the moment, you know, when we've won the last couple of games in a really emphatic margin. So we'll really see how this one sort of goes. Let me know if you enjoy it or not. So as you can see, we're under the cosh at the minute. You know, they've had the majority of possession. We just can't get the ball at all. We'll wait and see how this one plays out. Might have to try and intervene at some point if things aren't going to go our way. At least in this emphatic fashion, as they're in. Looks like, oh, they could have scored there. They were 1-on-1. That was an opportunity. And there is the goal. I didn't even realise because it was that unobvious, but Zaniolo has put one in. And it is 1-0, thankfully. But I'll tell you what, I mean, they did not make that obvious at all. I was too busy trying to switch to the player stamina levels. And yeah, it happened. So yeah, that's not bad. So we're into stoppage time now, and hopefully that can really be done and dusted. I'm sure the referee's going to play well over again. That will do 1-0 in the end from coach mode. Nicola Zaniolo, who is on fantastic form with the only goal of the game. Obviously, that was just a bit of an experiment, you know what I mean? See if anything sticks. If you guys didn't enjoy it, then, you know, that's no problem. We won't do it again. It was really just me trying to see if there's anything that we can sort of mix up the Master League up with a bit. But, you know, like I say, I'll go with what you guys really want. Let's have a look at the results from elsewhere. Juventus drop points again, this time to Sampdoria. That's a big result there. Atalanta beat Empoli, AC Milan won. Inter Milan beat Udinese. Lazio actually lose at home to Sassuolo, and then Torino lose to Napoli. So Let's have a look at the league table. Looking very, very healthy. But like we say, not interested in it early doors because, you know, one loss and all of a sudden we could be down in 6th from 2nd. So, you know, it doesn't mean a whole lot at this stage. But most importantly, we are sort of getting points on the board. So, our next game is the Coppa Italia game. Obviously, that will be in the next episode now. Let me show you what we've got for the next episode. It is a real humdinger, actually. What I'm planning to do early days, and this could change, is I'll have post-commentary highlights of these 3 games. We've got 2 games against Empoli, one in which is in the Coppa Italia, and we've got the game against Young Boys in the Europa League as well. And then we have a featured game against AC Milan away at the San Siro. So that's going to be a real big one. And then we got a couple more games, Cagliari and Young Boys, and then we got Inter as well. So I'm either going to do post-com highlights of these 3 and then a featured game against Milan, and then we'll do quick highlights of these 2 and then we go into the game against Inter, or I save that Inter game for the episode afterwards, which will be episode 5. So we're going to see how that one plays out, but definitely next game we'll have a special game, featured game against AC Milan, and lots of other games to filter in alongside as that as well. So that is one I'm really excited for, and I hope you guys are too. If you've enjoyed this episode, then please do leave a like, subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so that you get notifications every time I upload a video. Really appreciate all the fantastic support, lovely comments that I've had on these videos so far. So grateful for that. So hopefully you guys can continue to enjoy it and we can make it as exciting for you as we possibly can. Don't forget to give me a follow on Twitter. The link to that is in the description, and also check out the mods as well and leave a donation to Dario's page if you do happen to enjoy the Master League mod that is you know, been really good that he has created. On that note, we're going to finish it there. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you soon.